because of the thing I did after not alerting police and then also withdrawing money. I feel guilty for what happened. I did not kill him.
Welcome to this week's special edition of Crime Fighters, the Police and You Case File. Penultimate week, Nigerians and indeed the world woke up to a news break about the CEO of Super TV, Mr. Micheal Usifo Ataga, who was reportedly killed by one Chidinma Adaora Ojukwu, a 21-year-old 300-level student of the Department of Mass Communication, University of Lagos. Prior to the news break, the said victim was found dead in a serviced apartment in Lekki Phase 1, Lagos. The media was agog with speculations and theories about who could be responsible for his death. There were insinuations that the said media entrepreneur could have been killed by assassins. By the dawn of Thursday, 24th June 2021, the Commissioner of Police Lagos State Command, Hakeem Odumosun, paraded a young lady, Chidinma Adaora Ojukwu, who confessed to the crime in the full glare of the press and members of the public.
On the 15th of June 2021, so the lady there by name Chidinma, so a 21-year-old lady and 300-level mass communication students of University of Lagos, checked in into a service apartment in Lekki with the late man on that Sunday. So they were there together as friends. On Tuesday, she departed, left the man inside. So when the man did not come out on Tuesday, on Wednesday, I think, those who are evacuating the trash bins, so went in to do their normal duty and discovered that the door to the apartment was a bit half opened. The door was opened and to remove the trash, and the man was found on the floor in the pool of his blood with the boxers only on. And that was the story, that was the beginning. And we started our investigation. So we started doing all the leads. Yesterday night, we were able to track her and got her arrested. So, and she has confessed to the committer of the offense. If she'll tell you her story by herself.
He asked me to get a shortlet where we can stay. So I got it. I checked for it online and then I sent it. I sent to him. He said I should go check it out. Then I went to check it out, and then he paid for it. That was how it is that day. On Monday we were together drinking, smoking. We had fun. So I went to get food for all of us. Both of us, I mean. And then that was what happened. Then on Tuesday, he was trying to make advances on me, which I was tired, but he became violent on it. So he got his way, which I let him. And then in the afternoon, towards afternoon, we ordered for smoke. And also roofies together. So that was what we took. And then we ate the food that we had on Monday. So we became high, and I wasn't happy for the first one he did, so I was still on my own, just smoking and drinking with my food that I've eaten. So he too was on his own couch. Then he came on to me while I was watching a movie. We were both watching a movie. So he came on to me and was like, I was like, no, that I'm not happy with what you did in the first one. And then I was like, you don't help me, you don't assist me in anything, but yet you just playing with me around. And then he was like, oh, okay, take my ATM now, I can go and withdraw what she wants. And then he said the pin. I was like, that's not what I meant. So it became violent or trying to get to me, and I was resisting and defending myself. And at some point, he hit my head on the wall, and I also retaliated. And also, at some point, it was choking me, which I was on the kitchen cabinet. I lay on the kitchen cabinet while he was choking me, and then I stretched out the knife, and then I stabbed his neck. The first one was twice the instance, the first one on the neck side. That was the first one. And then when I stabbed him the first one twice, I threw the knife on the bed. Then he was going for it while I went for it. So while I laid on the bed, that's when he came on me to hold the knife, and that's when I managed to stab him with the knife. And then when he dragged the knife from me, he managed to slice my hand. And then as he was holding it, the knife broke, so it slipped off from his hand. I still managed to held to it, but then it was now weak, and then he fell on the floor.
The day after the parade, guesswork and commentaries escalated on national television stations and social media platforms, many of them examining the claim of Chidinma and raised doubts about the investigative process of the Nigeria police. Yet, other commentators propounded ideas on the circumstances that led to the murder of the deceased. It was against this backdrop that crime fighters, Nigeria's #1 resource on safety and crime, decided to dig deep into the case to shed more light on some hidden facts relating to the death of Mr. Micheal Usifo Ataga. We also had one-on-one interview with the principal suspect. At this point, we'd like to state that this interview was conducted with the consent of the suspect. Listen to Chidinma speak to her background, how she met the deceased, and the extent of their relationship before the incident.
I'm a student and I'm also into beauty. Mass communication Unilag. Growing up was a little bit difficult financially, emotionally. My real parents divorced when I was little. So I lived with my uncle and then moved to my mom's place. Then I got adopted. It was a friend that I introduced to him, and then he picked interest and adopted me. I left our place to my dad's place. That was where he took me to my senior sis. I have a senior sis, and that was where we were. So we had problem with the accommodation, and then she met somebody that introduced to my dad now, and then he adopted me. From my uncle's place, went to government school, which I didn't finish. Then went to my mom's place. She didn't put me through school throughout where I was with her before taking me to my dad's place. Then my dad's place to my sister's place, which I didn't go to school till I got adopted. Then I went to school. I stopped at that JSS when my aunt left me to my mom's place at JS2. So the next time I was entering school was SS1. I went to Sibman College. It's around Sabo. From SS2, there was no finance to further up, so I was out from school when I was doing lesson. So I wrote my JAM, WAEC and NECO, and I passed and entered into UNILAG. I was not much of a talker or associating with people. I just more of on my own. It was through a girl that I know. She was a friend to his friend. So she invited me out. I met her in a group where I was added randomly. That was how we got talking. When we exchanged contacts, it was already late at that time for me to go back home. So we decided, okay, let's go to your house. My house was on the mainland, so it was late to go back home. That's when we went home to his house at VGC. We had movies, we had drinks, and he had smoke also. Next day morning, I went home. Some weeks after, we met again. He doesn't talk much about himself. He's quite busy, like a busy person. I would say that at some point in time, he got to know that he likes to carry girls, and he smokes, he drinks, and takes drug also. So I don't know deep about him. His character, he gets angry easily. He has issue with his wife. So, but his children is what is targeted as family man. He wasn't into happy married life or something. He was just more of catering for his kids. I can't remember some of his friends that I met, but remember their faces kind of really, or their names, but I've met two people that I said friend something. I don't have 10 million in my bank account, so I have like 400 or 500 in my account. Michael gave me his laptop. He had two laptops, so I told him that I wanted laptop, so he gave me one, and that was what I sold to get the money. It was a Mac Pro. I wasn't doing ushering when I was with him anymore. I was getting more from him than doing the ushering, so there was no need ushering. Ushering can be 15K, 20K. It gives me more than the ushering. The apartment where it was said it was leaking, so then they said I should book. They said it was free and I too was free, so let's then see. It was Sunday on the 13th June. I decided to check online about the shortlets because it said that I didn't want hotel. There will not be Netflix, or it will not be fun, like being in the house or something. So that was when I decided to check for a shortlet. So I sent it to him and he said it was okay. Then he said I should go check the place out. So I checked it and it was okay. Then he made payments. He sent 105. That was for 4 days. After I paid the money, so after 1 hour, he came. When he came, then we went to get food. We went out to eat and also get drinks. And we're just indoor watching movie, drinking, smoking. He woke up before me, but I was still feeling sleepy and dizzy because of the smoke, drink, and the drug. So he asked I need, what we need. So I was like, we need to buy food and drug because the drug that we brought already finished. He sent the money to their account. Why the other one? He gave me the card because I was trying to make payments and it didn't go through. So he gave me the card. I didn't have access to his card, but I know the PIN code. Before I was leaving, he stood up to lock the door. But when I got in, I was knocking. As there was no answer, I opened, the door was already open, it wasn't locked. And the duvet was on the floor, plus pillows. The bed, the couch was facing the door, and the bed was stained with blood already. And the floor where it was blood, and then music was on, the TV was on. The room was already disarranged, someone broke in. Then I saw him on the floor. I didn't know what to do. I took my things with his thing and left. I was afraid. I didn't know if I have raised alarm, they would have arrested me for doing it because I and him were just the only people in the room. I was, I just left. I was packing my things to leave. Then I noticed that my clothes was stained, so I changed it to another. I took the bag that contained his ID and documents, bank statements. My bag was already on the floor. I met my bag on the floor. And then the stuff it was with was on the TV set. That's where the stuff I took was on the TV set. So I just packed them and just put them into the nylon and left. I took his phone the following week. I was home, then I went out to withdraw some money from the ATM that I was with. I withdrew 200. Before that day, on Tuesday, he already told me that he's going to give me the money that I requested for. And when I came out, when I was arrested and they were saying I made away with 5 million naira, there was no 5 million naira in the account. I just did it. It's not like I had something to do with his death. I never had anything to do with his death. The lady that I rented the apartment from, I had to message her that she should please probably send the security guy to check on him. That I haven't heard from him. That's what I said to her. And they came to my house and they arrested me, took me to station. I didn't involve anybody. I don't know who must have come into the apartment. Definitely somebody did that, but I don't know who that person is. I don't know what happened when I left to buy the food. I don't know. Because of the thing I did after not alerting police and then also withdrawing money, I feel guilty for what happened. I did not kill him. Knowing for whether I did not kill him, but my doings, taking his money and not reporting the police, I believe that somebody knew where we were and then waited till I left before they could enter. The pressure and people, when I was confronting the security guy, and it was like, no, nobody entered into the apartment, that it was just me that entered into the apartment. And knowing full well what I did, withdrawing his money, I just took the blame on myself that since no one believes, let me just take it. No one is influencing my statements. I've not spoken to anybody, my relation or anybody. I've just been in the self since.
Viewers may observe that the story the suspect recently told journalists during the parade about how she allegedly killed Mr. Usifo Ataga at the press briefing is at variance with the one she shared with crime fighters in our exclusive interview. Crime fighters equally visited the scene of crime, and here are some images. Viewers' discretion is hereby advised. because of the contradicting statements made by the suspect, Chidinma Adaora Ojukwu, crime fighters decided to speak further on this matter with the Commissioner of Police to clarify some areas of doubt as it concerns police investigation. This is what CP Hakeem Odumosun had to say.
That is the trait of an African criminal. She was here, we recorded all her. So at State CID, the night she was arrested, now we recorded all her. So even the lady that rented the place to her, now we recorded everything now. So we have that thing. Because if she's now saw, I think something as an afterthought, then if it's going to prove out. But anybody thinking that police, so maybe trying to give her a tutelage or something, that person is saying it out of mischief. And it's highly discouraging. For us to have risked our life, to have carried our professional callings now and getting her, instead of the action, what I've done now, being appreciated and being encouraged to get further. So maybe it's just a way of distracting police that it's okay when we castigate police. So then police will be discouraged. We'll not be able to go on long. No, we'll never be. So we are not leaving any stone unturned. We are not leaving any lead unfollowed. Any lead that we get.
Crime fighters also sought to speak with the adopted father of the suspect. He was reluctant to make statements on camera. However, the deceased best friend also narrated in detail how he and other family members searched for the deceased before his body was found.
I spoke to him last on Monday at about 9 p.m. It was a public holiday. So on Tuesday, I was on my way to his house in Banana Island in Ikoyi. When I left my house, I started calling him. And Usifo is somebody that if he misses your call, he calls you back immediately. I was calling him before, from VGC to maybe Lekki Phase 1. I called maybe like 6-7 times. He did not pick his call. He did not call me back. Then this was about maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then at about between Lekki Phase 1 to Banana Gate, I called maybe like another 15 times because I would need a code to get into the estate. So when I got to the gate, he still was not picking, so I called somebody else to give me a code. So I entered the estate. When I got to his house, I didn't even enter from the gate because there's a transparent gate. I saw that the Hilux his Toyota Hilux was in front of the house, but the Range Rover was not there. So I called his PA, where is Usifo? He said that he came to Banana that morning. The cook told him Usifo went out, left the house on Sunday, and was not back at that Tuesday morning. So I said, okay, have you asked Rahman, one of his business partner, and have you asked Rahman? He said Rahman said the same thing, that he has been calling him. He has not picked up his phone till that time, but he sent a message. So I was like, okay. So I said, okay, maybe when he's ready, he will call me back. I now got to VGC. I now met Gambo and the partner, Rahman. I said, show me the messages. So they showed me. And I said, because one, he's not a message person. He's a talking person. The English they use here, Usifo won't use this kind of English to reply, something is wrong, I don't think this is Usifo. So we now decided that, okay, in the morning, the next day we'll try and do a search.
Usifo is the third son in a family of 4. He has 2 elder brothers and a younger sister, and his siblings, they all live abroad. And Usifo grew up as a child who was raised by very good parents in a Christianly manner, and he is a guy who's always had business in his DNA. He's always liked to do business. But what I'll tell you about Usifo is that Usifo is very respectable. Usifo will never hurt a fly. Usifo loves people. Usifo goes beyond the immediate family to know his cousins, to know his uncles. I've had the very regrettable privilege of seeing that dead body 5 times. My cousin's hands were tied so badly that the rope entered his skin. The rope is right there as an exhibit with the police. That binding could not have been done by that lady alone. Not possible. Even if he was drugged, it is not possible, because I saw the lady and I saw my cousin. I said, this is not possible. Apart from the fact that he was tied, there were multiple stabs on his body. That is correct. Multiple. So that story of 2 stabs and neck is not true. He was stabbed in other places. His leg. In fact, in Yaba mortuary, the attendants were so dramatic that they told us clearly, the stabbing here was so bad that it's a hole. The guy stuck his 2 fingers into my cousin's body in my presence. I am serious. The Doppler vein, he was stabbed here deliberately. So whether he was just stabbed on the neck, no, he was stabbed on the Doppler vein twice. He was stabbed on his body multiply.
Obviously, we're yet to see the end of police investigation on this matter. However, Crime Fighters has limited itself to the narrative of all parties concerned and wishes to state that tonight's presentation is without prejudice to the ongoing investigation and judicial process that will follow. In conclusion, it is important to understand that the behavior and where people grow up and associate is closely linked to their involvement in crime and antisocial behavior. The role of social environment and social interaction on deviants and criminals cannot be divorced. Thanks for watching. Until we come your way again next week, stay blessed.